Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen to my presentation today about the Center for Entrepreneurship. The Center for Entrepreneurship has been at the college now since November of last year, so we haven't been around that long. However, we do have some micro centers and some programs that I'm hoping that you'll recognize that have been here now for quite some time. So there's some things I can talk today. Number one, I'm going to introduce my staff. We've got a fantastic team that have been here for some of us for not that long, some of us for a long time. All of which are really interested in helping you along with your endeavors and your ventures. I'll talk a little bit about the Center for Entrepreneurship. I'll talk a little bit about what our missions are, our goals, our services. Also show you some numbers that I'm hoping that you'll be impressed by, some things that we've been up to lately. Also talk to you about your future career, talk to you about as you things as you move forward. The skilled trades world is becoming one of the most in demand areas of our profession and our industries right now. You're in a fantastic spot to be embarking on your new career. And finally, talk a little bit about Surge, the collective, two areas that I know can help you out. And then at the end, we'll have a slide there with my contact information, and I can't wait to obviously answer any questions that you may have for me after this presentation. So let's get started. My name is Ryan Anderson. I'm the general manager of the Center for Entrepreneurship at Mohawk College. I love the skilled trades area because I spent a lot of time in it. Prior to joining Mohawk, I worked for a group called the LC Group. The LC Group owned 11 CarStar auto and glass locations, as well as some oil change facilities too. And so I really got to know very well the skilled trades area when it came to auto and collision, both in our recruitment concerns, in having our young folks come aboard. We actually launched one of the very first apprenticeship management position programs, I guess 3 years ago now, in which we developed a whole scaled career path for our apprenticeships to come in. So it wasn't just the skills, it was actually the business side, the personal side, the professional side. Really excited about that. We took on 18 Mohawk grads and Sheridan grads, and of those 18, 15 are there right now, and 9 are managing. So that's something that I was really proud of because you would know very well that turnover sometimes in our skilled trades industries can be quite constant too. And then prior to that, I was the Canadian director of operations for CarStar as well. So that meant that I got to look after the care and concerns of over 300 franchises across Canada. And that really got me into our stores to take a look and see some of our skilled trades workers, our apprentices, and really gave me a breadth of what we see across the country. We also have Natalie Reed. Natalie Reed is our manager for our Surge program in the agency and really our community contact person as well. You may have seen Natalie on some earlier videos. You may have seen her in some of the class presentations as well. She's been with the college now since 2014, and she's absolutely fantastic. And finally, we have a young lady named Sarah Dolden who's just joined our team on a part-time position. She's a Mohawk. She looks after all of our administration right now and is our social media genius because I'm certainly not. And so she's one that's really managed to looking to turn around some of our social media campaigns as well as the collective, which is a group I'll talk to you about in a few minutes. So let's talk the center. Really, we've got 4 goals. Number one is to create opportunities for our students, alumni, and the community. One of the very first things I want to stress in our presentation today is the fact that this is for alumni as well. One of the things that we found when I first got here was that we didn't have a very good relationship with our alumni when it came to entrepreneurs. We've got a lot of fantastic business owners that are Mohawk grads, people that you'd recognize in the news, you'd recognize from being all over the place. The center in entrepreneurship, our entrepreneurial programming didn't do very well in touching them and reaching with them and forging that connection. So I want to make it very clear that our center is available to you after you graduate as well. Next, we link business venture. If you want to go in business for yourself, we link you with people that can help you, whether that be money, whether that could be financing, whether that be expertise in getting your business off the ground. That's a mission for us. Next, we are really mandated with providing programs that are industry leading. So if you come to us to look to develop your business, our commitment to you is that you'll get the most recent information, the latest information, and that's tough these days in a world of COVID, in a world of government programs. It's hard for us, but our commitment to you is that you'll get the latest information and the most relevant information to what you might need. And next is we really want to promote our alumni and our faculty. There's some things that we're working on right now that we're really excited about promoting alumni businesses. We want you to know that this is a route you choose to go. There's also a promotional branch for you that we can offer you also. So as I said, our goals, developing student entrepreneurs. We just had a pitch competition that wrapped up this week. We had 4 fantastic finalists that were student business owners that have either started their business or in the process of being alumni running their business. We've worked with them now for over a year, and the way that they've really taken over as far as their expertise goes and their business goes is so exciting. Last year, we worked with over a dozen of these. We had an entrepreneurial co-op course that you'll learn about in a second. We took 15 students. Of those 15, 5 actually have investment offers from people right now trying to help grow their business. So we're really excited by our early successes. As I said, impact the community through our partnerships and learning. And then next, thriving in enhanced micro centers. I'm going to talk to you about 2 of those today in Surge in the collective. We've really kind of revamped those, taken them over to make sure that they're exactly what you need. So let's talk about some numbers. At the college, every single year, over 3,400 students actually receive entrepreneurial training every year. Where is that found? That's found within our center. That's found in some of the things that we do, but it's also found within 37 programs that we have around the college right now that actually teach entrepreneurial training. I believe some of you may have been getting these already. Really excited that as of yesterday, we had a fantastic event and that we had 513 students what's called our Mindshift conference every year. So we had 513 students this year. Obviously, it was virtual, and we wrapped that up yesterday. Everything from talking about building a business to branding to marketing. Our pitch competition that I had mentioned, it was absolutely a fantastic week. This year, we've also got something called the Summit Speaker Series. That is a speaker series that we put on, think about almost like a talk, if you will. We've had 422 students attend those events so far, so we're really excited about those. The topics have ranged from everything to building your business to screwing up, because entrepreneurs often screw up, to mental health for business leaders, as well as branding and marketing. So what does that mean? That means that almost 1,600 people have attended our event so far between Mindshift, the speaker series, and class presentations. And since 2018, we're very proud of the fact that we've launched 42 businesses, most of which are still operating today, which is, in today's climate, a pretty cool success story for us. So now I really want to turn the direction to you, and I want to talk a little bit about some helpful hints on getting yourself started. And this doesn't just have to be about building your own business. It also is how to succeed within your career of choice as well. So number one thing that I want to talk about the fact is that, most skilled businesses, skilled trade businesses, are really owned by people that are skilled tradespeople. That's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. It's a great thing because most people get involved in that because A, they don't want a boss, they want to be their own boss, or B, they know they're very good at what they do, whether that be a plumber, an electrician, fixing cars, whatever it might be. They want to get involved with that, which is the number one reason why you want to become an entrepreneur, is one, to develop yourself and develop your own business. The bad part, though, is that often they come there with a passion and a great skill for the skilled trade, but not so much for business. And that's something that we find that we really can help you with, number one. Number two, it's the reason why most businesses in the skilled trades area fail, is the fact that you're taking someone that might have fantastic skilled trades, but maybe not the business skills. We'll talk about that a few points down. Number two, there is a growing trend right now with regards to some of the, to some of our skilled trades for investor ownerships to go either as partners or owning these businesses. So for example, when I worked for CarStar, most of our business owners were family, and most of our business owners were people that were very, very good in the trades. However, there was a growing trend for investor companies and people that with no knowledge of the skilled trades whatsoever to come in and either partner with our small businesses or even buy them. And that's something that we found, again, was good and bad. Number one, usually there's that business expertise, but never really the skilled trades expertise. So I guess my message in these first 2 points is really strive to have a mixture of both. If you're going to go on this alone, really become the expert in the business side as well, which is hard. You have to learn a little bit. If you're going to look for people that actually have the business skills, choose wisely. Number three, the great thing about skilled trades is that there's low barriers of entry to become your own business owner. You can be as big as small as you want. It's the cost of your tools, it's the cost of your business license, and away you go. You can start off very small. Most skilled trade small businesses will do it this way. They want to be their own boss. They'll secure a few clients and a few contacts, and away they'll go. Our center can really help you with that, because that's help you move that you want to do. Number four, an exciting thing for all of you right now is that business owners in the skilled trades industries are getting older. What does that mean? They want out. COVID has really put the fast forward button on this as well. Our stats will say that the average business owner right now in Canada for small business is about 58 years old. That means that they're looking for an exit plan. It also means they may be looking to sell. Who may they sell to? Well, they may be selling to their son, they may be selling to their daughter, but they also might be looking at selling to someone that actually works in their company. I used to see this a lot. Someone that might be fixing cars, might be a painter. They've got an interest, and often what we would see those people, identify them, and then start to train them. So really, we're going to talk about the concept of entrepreneurship later. I want to really stress right now that there is a fantastic opportunity for you. Make that launch good. Number five, family businesses will dominate most of the industries that I'm speaking to you about today. Um, you know, Again, think of you 20 years down the road. You got involved in your own business. You had a couple of contacts. You got a few ladders. You got a license. You got your tools. You shared those things. Maybe you have kids that 15, 20 years from now, and now you want to pass that off. That's really how a lot of family-run businesses get their start within the skilled trades. Number six, it's never too early to have business ownership in mind. Maybe you don't want to do this now, but maybe you want to do this 10 years from now. It's never too early to have a growth plan for yourself to owning a new business. Again, this is something that our Surge office can really help you with. Number seven, we sort of talked about this with our very first point. The biggest skilled trades entrepreneurs, the biggest mistake that they make right here is not investing and becoming good at running the business. And this is something I used to see a lot when I went from the East Coast to the West Coast of Canada with CarStar. We'd see a lot of people who are the best people at painting cars, the best people at fixing cars. But when it came to managing people, it came to running their books, when it came to marketing, they just didn't have that expertise because it wasn't really what they were about. And so this is an avenue that you choose to go. Really invest in yourself. I often would say that we often would buy people and not businesses. The reason why is we invested in people that we knew could grow that business, and they were fantastic experts at their industry, but they became even better at running their business. Number eight is the concept of entrepreneurship, and this is something that a word that you may not have heard of before. Entrepreneurship is buying your own business and running your own business. Entrepreneurship is actually leadership within a business, but without having that title. So, for example, one of the things that I always would do when I was hiring is I would hire you for the job that I needed to fill now, but really for the job that I thought that you could do years from now. And that's really an entrepreneur. So entrepreneurship is really leading from within, leading and being the best person within the business, whether you have that title or not. That's something that a lot of folks right now will see. So think about this combination. If I'm 58 years old, I want to sell my business. I don't have a son or daughter that I want to leave that to. I may hire you out of school, not so much because what you can do, but really what I can grow you to be 5, 6, 3, 4, 10 years down the line. Number nine, as I said to you just a minute ago, hires will often be made for who they will be. A smart business will hire up, which means they'll hire to invest in you moving forward. My advice to you, because you're going to have a lot of job opportunities for you, is ask for that. Where might you see me in a couple of years' time? Do you see me to fill the role that you're hiring me to do now, or do you see a growth plan? Very good companies in the skilled trades will have a growth plan for you, and they'll have a very formalized hiring process, and that's something that's very important for you to be thinking about. Number 10, last but not least, skilled trades are really businesses of trust and referral. If you think of anyone that's had work done on a car that doesn't know anything about cars or plumbing or electrician, They work a lot on referrals. I have a great guy. I have a really good person. I have a good woman who can do this job for me. This is something I really want to stress to you in your businesses is that you might be the best person at a job, but you need to make sure that that job with the customer service is known to be the best person in your community. If you choose to run a small business and you choose to start your own business, the number one thing you can do is actually increase that business by referral. That's free. It just means you're doing a good job. And that's something that I really want to leave you with. So how can we help? Our Surge office essentially is the arm that helps students as well as new alumni like yourself start their own business. So what do you get? Well, you have a free initial session that you've got with Natalie, who I've introduced you today. She'll talk to you about what your business venture is. She'll talk to you about the first steps in getting started, and she'll actually walk with you through this process. When you reach certain levels of commitment, meaning you really want to go and do this, we have an extensive list of mentors that are both paid by us, not by you, that are faculty mentors and community mentors that we'll team you up with to help you with that business venture. There is no cost to you on this. We just ask for commitment, and I want to make sure that we're really straight on that. There is never a cost for you in our business with Surge. It really is the commitment to help grow your business that we ask from you. You'll get that expert advice. You'll be teamed with that community faculty member, and really we want to get you launched. Our goal is usually a year, but we've got people within here that have been there now for a couple of years. Again, our only ask is that we continue to see your growth in doing these things. And as I said here on the bottom, I really want to make sure that we stress to you, graduates are welcomed. This is a bit of a change that we've had now. It used to be it was only current students. The decision right now that we want to make sure we offer this to anyone that has graduated in the last 2 years. That means you get 2 years of services from us. And last for our services is something that's called the Collective. The Collective is a new but old program, if you will. It used to be the Collective only existed within media programs, graphic design, advertising, website development. You will see in September that the Collective is going to also apply to you. So what does this mean? If you have a side gig, if you've got a side business, if you want to go and do some one-off things, you can work with us to sort of go and launch those things. So for example, if you've got OSAP bills to pay, you don't want to go and start your own business and make that your career. However, you'd like to do some side jobs. This is really where the Collective can come in. We will be expanding this as of September to include every single program that the college has to offer, which is really exciting for us. You'll see our contact information at the end of this presentation. If you've got any questions regarding that, I urge you to let me know, and I'll be happy to either answer them myself or most definitely point them to either Sarah or Natalie, who can help you out with that. So again, we'll help you develop your skills. We'll help you launch this business. You'll have a website that we'll help you with, and your name, contact information, resume, services will actually be featured on our Collective website as of September coming up of this year. So that's really it for me. Obviously, if this was going to be a live discussion, I would really invite some questions and some open discussion. But because it's not, I want to make it clear that I'm available to you for whatever questions you may have and whatever discussion points you may have. I know they're going to make my contact information available at the end of this. Make sure, please, that you reach out to me. And if I can't answer your questions, I'll make sure that Natalie and Sarah are available to you. Thanks so much for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you, and congratulations on your next steps.